Look, I know I look like the kind of guy that would reach for the backpack just like Mikey Musumeci, but what a disaster this whole thing has been, right? UFC BJJ, right? Let's get the cam over here, right? So you see Musumeci versus Carrasco. First of all, who even is that, right? And I know this is a different topic. We usually just talk about MMA. Sometimes, rarely do we talk about like boxing. But I wanted to talk about this because they've put presumably a lot of money into this, and it's just already been a failure, already been a disaster. And somebody like myself who has said, no one cares about BJJ. No offense to you BJJ guys out there, but no one really cares to watch it yet. It's not, I don't think people are ever going to care to see it, because at the end of the day, whether it's the rules of it, whether it's whatever the case may be, it's just not good enough. People want to see. It's like when Mikey Musumeci says, I'm going to fight Carrasco, whoever this guy is. You're not fighting him. You're rolling around with him and then submitting him with the knee bar. So it's not even a real fight. People want to see fights. That's what karate combat is. That's what bare knuckle is. That's why those have success. But to expect people to go out of their way to watch Mikey Musumeci pull a leg lock on somebody and submit it's hard, man. It's a really hard ask. So this video, apparently, this stream, UFC BJJ 3, Musumeci versus Carrasco full event. Now, do you guys see that number? 9 million views. Do you guys expect me to believe that a UFC BJJ event pulled 9 million views when it only has one recognizable name in it? Now, again, I'm not familiar with the other guys on this card. Maybe I'm a BJJ casual. Yes, I am a BJJ casual. I know who freaking, like, Craig Jones is, of course. What's his name? Ryan Gordon, and no, I know his name. Gordon Ryan, Craig. I know these guys. I'm not that much of a casual. I know who these guys are, but like 9 million views, really. There's 9 million UFC BJJ fans. They're like, yeah, it's time to watch some UFC BJJ, folks. And it's funny because if you look at the UFC BJJ channel that's right under this video, it's got 9,000 subs. Now, I know it was streamed on the UFC channel. I get that. I'm not stupid. But I'm just saying, man, only 9,000 people are subbed to the UFC BJJ channel, but you guys pulled 9 million views for your big event 12 days ago, by the way. It's not even like it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 12 months ago. 12 days ago is insane. Like, no one's doing that, bro. So then, obviously, if you scroll down here, again, no offense to Mikey Musumeci here, but you know what I mean? He just did an interview with Ariel Helwani, and it has, I think that says 8,000 views. I can't even see. The number is so small that I can't see. It has 8,000 views. My best video has more views than this, all right? So I'm just saying, though, like, my Gamrot video has more views than this. So Gamrot's a bigger draw than Musumeci, confirmed. But what did it, so Craig Jones, right? Let's talk about this. Craig Jones calls this out. For some reason, I think he's naked or something on his bed. But we all love Craig Jones, right? He's awesome. He's great. He is a big name in this BJJ space, and he calls this 9 million view thing out.
Credit where credit's due. UFC BJJ had 30,000 concurrent viewers, and it's gone up to 9 million viewers. I don't think we realize what Stephen Tecci and Claudia...
So even that doesn't sound like realistic. They had 30,000 viewers watching, really? I find that hard to believe, no offense. I find that pretty hard to believe that 9,000 people, or wait, is that 30,000 people, sorry, were like wasted. When was it, like on a Friday or a Saturday? We're spending their Friday night watching UFC BJJ. It's like, look, no offense, but if you said that about, like, let's say the Contender Series, right? Like, the Contender Series has garnered a lot of buzz. Like, I did a video on it. I saw, Guru did a video on it. Like, people are, like, really hyped about the Contender Series right now. Maybe that's because, sometimes the UFC under-delivers. So I feel like we're kind of clinging on to anything we can get. But it's like, if you told me that had 30,000 people watching, fine, I believe you. But UFC BJJ, are you expecting me to believe 30,000 people are watching a Mikey Musumeci fight live on a fucking Friday night when they could be, like, smashing some Latino? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
Gedalia doing to the sport. That is statistically impossible.
Exactly.
To achieve those views in such a short period of time. I'm glad the money that could be going to those fighters is going to views. They gained 7 million views in 4 days while only getting 25 comments. and 1,000 likes. I don't think that's ever been done in the history of sports. And hat tip, the Sports in Safe hands. And if those numbers are being sold to sponsors, well, I don't know what to say about that. Bad business. 0.1% engagement. 0.1%.
So, I mean, here, we can look at it for ourselves. It says it has 10,000 likes. So 9 million views with only 10,000 likes. Very interesting. And then you see MMHA. I love MMHA, man. That's the GO MMA YouTuber, in my opinion. He says 9 million views with 300 comments and 10K likes, laughing emojis. 9 million views, 10K likes makes sense. Who's here after Craig's story? So obviously the comments it's gained more comments since the Craig Jones thing because obviously people are now just clowning on the UFC for it. But it's just like, Dana got this one on repeat in all of his Jib TVs. 9 million views with the last comment is 9 hours ago. Didn't even try to make botting look realistic. So I guess the UFC is botting. I really guess that's the narrative, right? Is that the UFC has botted this stream to give it 9 million fucking views. Like, look, I did a stream once and it got like a good amount of views. It was a stream it was a fight night stream basically, and it featured Joshua Van, and it had like 100 concurrent viewers or something like that, right? Now, come to find out, that was just a bunch of Joshua Van fans from like Myanmar that just like were there to support him. This isn't the case here. So unless someone from Myanmar is on this card, I don't really understand why. Like, I don't understand why it says it has 9 million views. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, if you look at this, for example, right? 96K views for Mikey Musumeci's post-fight interview. Now, again, Mikey Musumeci is their biggest star, and we're going to get to that because they're probably going to lose their only star. Then this guy next to him, Henrique something, 2.7K views. Damn, even you guys see the UFC 320 pre-fight press conference highlights only got 45K views. But Kenny Okoye will swear to you Ankalaev needed to be champion. Anyways, that's a whole separate thing, right? This guy, 23. So you get the point. Basically, UFC BJJ gets no fucking views. Like, it really just doesn't comparatively to what it should. I mean, it's on the UFC's official channel, which has millions of subscribers. It has millions of people that just probably check the page out every day. So the fact that it just has such low views, I'm just saying, bro. And of course, topping this one off, no Nina drama, no Jones when I say that, but Mikey Musumeci is apparently a free agent. Wow. So let's just react to this.
My contract's actually up now with UFC, so I'm up for renegotiation, re-signing. Yeah, everything's been going well. Definitely there's a lot of learning that they have to do and build because it takes time to do this, right? It takes time to perfect it, just like every other organization.
So are you confident? Are you hopeful? Do you like the direction?
I think that it's okay. I think it's good. I just hate the amount of hate that I receive from people with this. It's very frustrating sometimes because I'm always down to fight the best in the world. I'm the best in the world at 135, and I want to fight anyone that's the best in the world. And then I'll get crapped on from the community. Oh, I'm not having hard matches. It's not really my fault if there's people that don't want to compete with me or I'm not able to compete with people, right?
What's the biggest match you can have right now? Who's the one that people are saying they want you to go up against, and because maybe you're with UFC, you can't?
So there's an opponent called Baby Shark.
Yes, you've wanted to fight him for a very long time or compete against.
For 2 years, I've been trying to fight this guy, and now he's exclusive to one, which is why I'm like going crazy. I just want to compete with him so bad.
Yeah, quote-unquote fight, right? But anyways, like... So,
my contract's actually
shut the fuck up, Mikey Musumeci. All right, your autism rant is over. All right, bro, it's kind of crazy, right? Like, this guy is their biggest star by far. He's their biggest name by far. And, he's asked, how's the experience? He's like, it's okay. It's okay, really? You're the biggest star of this promotion. You're the face of UFC BJJ. Your contract is already up somehow. What a disaster, in my opinion. That's like... Bro, that's like if the UFC like just started and let's say if a promotion just started, right? And they acquire Ilya Topuria. And I mean, Musumeci's not on the level of Ilya, but you get my point. They acquire a big name. And then that big name is already like a free agent. Like, even if Musumeci just ends up re-signing and this is a nothing burger, it's stupid because at the end of the day, like he says in this video, there's no one for him to fight. and he can say, oh, it's because no one wants to fight me or whatever. I personally think it's because the UFC won't put the money up. Like Craig Jones said, earlier, they're too busy buying 9 million views for a fucking stream than they are paying good fighters to want to fight in UFC BJJ. Why would I fight for UFC BJJ when I could fight for, CJI, which probably just brings in more views anyways, and it could probably get me bigger names and better opponents. Like Craig Jones just fought Chael Sonnen. And before that, he was supposed to fight Gable Steveson. Why are names like that not on, UFC BJJ? You get my point? So it's sort of like his contract is already up. How do you even let that happen if you're the UFC? He's up for negotiation. He doesn't really sound that happy from this video. Maybe it's the fans that are getting to him. I don't know. But I just think it's a disaster. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I really think UFC BJJ is not... I don't get the point. So here at the end, we're just going to yap a bit, right? Because in my opinion, why the fuck would the UFC even go with UFC BJJ anyways? And I've spoke about this in the past, the kickboxing option is right there. The Muay Thai option is right there. But instead, the two ventures that you've decided to branch out on, that you've decided, okay, we have the UFC, it's been established, let's kind of branch out a little bit. So you decide to pick up Power Slap and BJJ. Two things that, first of all, no one's going to give a fuck about. Why would I, as a UFC fan, go out of my way? I already don't like when fighters, have grappling heavy styles. I mean, I like, some of my favorite fighters are grapplers, but let's just be honest. I would rather watch a Joshua Van fight than, let's say, name a grappler, a Umar fight, let's say, right? So why would I then go out of my way to watch UFC BJJ, which is more than likely going to be way more boring than a UFC fight, where at least, okay, Umar, he's laying on somebody, but maybe he gets elbowed from the bottom, he gets cut open, maybe the round ends, and then you get my point, right? So whereas UFC BJJ, there's 10 times more of a likelihood that it's just boring and ass and just a stalling sort of. We've seen it before. We've seen it in the past. Even from a guy like Craig Jones, I've seen him have boring BJJ fights, jiu-jitsu fights, quote-unquote fights. You know what I mean when I say fights. Matchups, let's just say. So why would they go into BJJ when you could have went into kickboxing, you could have went into Muay Thai, you could have went into these other ventures that people would have definitely been into seeing? Like, I don't give a fuck about Power Slap. I don't give a fuck about BJJ. What a waste. Just what a waste. But Dana, he was pretty adamant saying, oh, I don't want to go into kickboxing. Why? I don't know. Because do you think people are going to... What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Would you rather watch UFC kickboxing or UFC BJJ? I think I know your answer. So you don't even have to comment. Just, I know your answer. Overall, UFC BJJ is trash. It's a disaster. It's a failure. Just like I am a failure to my parents. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, make sure you guys like, comment, share, sub. Become a member down below. Let me know your thoughts. A little bit of a quick sort of rant, sort of whatever you want to call this video on UFC BJJ. The failure that it is. See you guys, and peace.